We have learned two spheres so far. We have learned the sphere of Earth now, that is part of the definition of the Arya Mandala, and we have learned the sphere of heaven, which is the continuation of expansion, encircling the sphere to go to heaven. And now, when we are in the sphere of heaven, we are, in this particular moment, expressing a predominant direction, the vertical, because it's the outer arc, but also we have the right and the left, opening the heart. So wherever we are, we're always centralizing in 6 directions. But in certain situations, like in expansion, for example, the right and the left is the most predominant in this particular moment, and the front and the back, because we are in the center of, in the 6 directions of space, becoming equal, and then of course above and below through the 7 centers. So now I would like to assist us to understand and experience the sphere of moon, which is a forward sphere. And the sphere of moon, in the predominant nature of the whole movement right now, is defining like the front and the back, even though it's still existing as right and left, but the front and the back becomes more predominant. And what it means by that is that the spherical form that I'm describing through my arms is centralized in the periphery of the sphere, at the center of the throat and the center of the heart, and is being at the center of a space implies that it's the back as well. So even though my arms are defining this form, I could have it in my imagination that I have arms in the back defining the same mural image. So the front and the back becomes just as much accurate in this direction of me as it is in the back direction of me by my placement in the center of a space. So in the definition of a moon, it starts like all definitions in foundation, and it has a path of movement that brings me to the moon. And the path of balance that brings me to the moon, as it unfolds in it, it opens the right and the left on my torso, but also it redirects the vertebrae of my spine to be able to ascend through their own formation. So it facilitates, again, the 3-dimensional spiral release of the spine. So I would like just to do it, and then we'll explain more as we do it, okay? So it starts the movement and crown, because that's the way we ended the last movement. Yeah, we ended the last movement through the interchanging balance, arriving to 0 point and completing in crown. So this movement begins again into foundation, and it's called unfolding wave that brings me to moon, which is right here, the sphere of moon. The sphere of moon expresses the right and the left within me, but it's directed a little bit forward as opposed to sideways. Sideways will be here, right? It will be like expansion. Yeah, then forward will be right here, and this is the sphere. Now, when I'm defining the sphere, I'm not defining it by grabbing it with my sensation, but my arms in the center of my heart, in the center of my fingers, becomes the form of the sphere, and it's a vertical extension. And then from here, I'm descending around. It's called around the crown to the sphere of Earth, and then it comes back into foundation. So if we're to be continued, will be 2, 3, moon. 1, 2, 3, earth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we complete the movement, we'll stop for a second here. Okay. What I would like to tell you is that as we go into the moon now, when you open to go from foundation to the moon, you go to a level it's quite close to you before you start the movement. It's not that you start the movement from foundation and immediately you start unfolding up, because of the upper curvature of the thoracic vertebra will thrust forward. If I just thinking about go directly from there, if I just go from foundation directly forward. So I have to go higher to the level of the delicate heart again, a little bit almost to a little bit of the solar plexus, And then as I ascend to the solar plexus, at the level of the delicate heart, I can unfold my arms to bring it to moon. And what that does, it ensures that the plane in which my arms are moving in a space, unfolding the movement, is facilitating the movement of the vertebrae vertically. Yeah? Because if I say to you, if you go from here, if you wanted to practice, just note that if you lift your arm forwards, you may immediately press back with the spine. So from foundation, we go to the level of the delicate heart as we unfold to the moon, and then we're descending down. So let's practice again that connection now. Remember that you stay close to you here, and then remember that the form of the moon is inside of you. It's not just a definition of what you're defining, but it's passing through you. And then around the crown, it has a form like a form of a barrel, like a barrel of wine a little bit, like this circle here before it gets to earth. And what this circle is creating from the moon as I'm descending to earth, allow my spine to go from the vertical to descend to the inner arc inside of the form of the spine. So the moon is the expression of the width and opening of my heart and chest as my arms extend forward. And then when I'm descending, the barrel aspect of around the crown allow the head, the throat, the chest, the solar plexus, the pelvis to arrive to earth inside of the inner arc. So when I arrive to earth, I am not going down into it, but I'm still suspended inside of the inner arc. Okay? So moon around the crown, foundation, moon around the crown, foundation. So let's go. Wonderful. We're going to start in flowing wave and crown, and then we start the movement. 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we go to crown, because that's the way we ended the last movement. Right there. And now 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Earth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Earth. 1, 2, 3. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Moon. 1, 2, 3. Earth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It will help you also when you practice the moon and around the crown and go to foundation to remember that if you go through the 7 centers with your mind by saying the centers as you're moving through, it will help you, because then you will begin to notice that you are ascending through the centers as you go to the moon. Now, when we teach it, sometimes we teach it and we do it out loud as we said it, and sometimes we use the word chest, the centralization of your chest, twice. So the way that we do it, it will be like pelvic floor, pelvis, solar plexus, chest, throat, head, crown, and then around the crown, moving to earth. 1, 2, 3, 4, pelvic floor, pelvis, solar plexus, chest, throat, head, crown, around. And the reason that we say chest twice is because it allows you to experience that this, as you ascend through it, as you go through the higher center, when you ascend into the chest becomes the centralization of the movement. So you have 3 centers above, 3 below, and the center of your heart, which is the center of the moon, becomes again the center of the 3-dimensional centering of the whole spine. So it's a good place because it's again a pure vertical extension. Okay, so shall we practice a couple of times just with the words, saying the words and just going through it? Beautiful. We'll start in 0 point and we complete in crown because we are going to start from there. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and that is crown. 1, 2, 3. That's a pelvic floor, pelvis, solar plexus, chest, throat, head, crown. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pelvic floor, pelvis, solar plexus, chest, chest, throat, head, moon. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more last time. 2, 3, 4. Pelvic floor, pelvis, solar plexus, chest, chest, throat. And when you get to the moon, put the center of the head too. Because in the first moment you would like to go here. Now, put the center of the head. So the crown becomes the point of reference from which you descend as you ascend through the 7 centers to come back to foundation.